Over the next few days, Sarah observed from the periphery, as Daniel found his own rhythm with the children. His methods were nothing like hers. He created a bizarre point system for chores that somehow involved dinosaur facts, established a dance party cleanup time each evening, and instituted a family meeting where everyone, even 10-year-old Max, had equal voting rights on decisions. Most shocking of all, things weren't falling apart. The kids were getting to school on time, homework was completed, and the house, while not meeting Sarah's standards of organization, was functional. More importantly, there was a lightness in their home she hadn't felt in years. On day 9, Sarah received a text from Max's therapist. "Whatever changes you've made at home, keep it up. Max opened up more today than in our last 6 sessions combined." Sarah's follow-up appointment brought good news. Her blood pressure had improved dramatically, and there were no lingering effects from the tire. She was cleared to return to normal activities, albeit with strict instructions to manage her stress. As she walked through the front door, ready to reclaim her command center, she paused. Daniel had transformed their rarely used dining room into what he called mission control, a centralized family organization system with a massive calendar, color-coded responsibility charts, and a whiteboard where family members could request help or offer their skills. "It's nothing fancy like your digital systems," Daniel explained nervously, "but it makes everything visible to all of us, not just you." Sarah studied the system, noting how it distributed responsibility rather than centralizing it with her. Before her illness, she would have immediately identified its inefficiencies and taken over. Now, she saw something more valuable than perfection: sustainability. That evening, after the kids were in bed, Daniel handed her a sealed envelope. Inside was a handwritten letter that began, "What I learned while you was sick," in raw, honest prose. He confessed how terrified he'd been, not just of her health crisis, but of failing their family without her expertise. "I realized I've been hiding behind your competence for years," he wrote. "Taking the easy way out because you made everything look effortless. I robbed you of a true partner, and I robbed myself of really knowing our children's daily lives." The letter ended with a proposal, not to revert to their old patterns, but to revolutionize their marriage with a more equitable distribution of both the mental and physical load of family life. 3 months later, their home ran differently. Sarah still occasionally found herself reaching to take control during hectic moments, and Daniel sometimes needed guidance navigating situations she'd handled solo for years. But the transformation was undeniable. Sarah's health improved. Daniel discovered leadership abilities he never knew he possessed, and the children blossomed with 2 fully engaged parents sharing the helm. The mini-stroke that had terrified them became, paradoxically, the event that saved not just Sarah's health, but the emotional vitality of their entire family. What began as a medical crisis evolved into a family revolution, proof that sometimes systems need to break down completely before they can be rebuilt, stronger and more resilient than before. The migraine hit Sarah like a freight train during her daughter's soccer tournament. One moment she was cheering from the sidelines, camera in hand to capture Emma's potential goal. The next, her vision fractured into kaleidoscopic patterns, and the world tilted sideways. The other parents gasped as she stumbled and nearly collapsed on the field's edge. "I'm fine," she insisted as Daniel rushed to her side, though the words came out slurred, but she wasn't fine. This was her 3rd migraine in a week, something that had never happened before, and the doctor's words from her recent checkup echoed ominously. "Your blood pressure is dangerously high. Your body is sending warning signals." Sarah had dismissed those warnings. With her promotion last month, the twins transitioned to middle school, and her mother's deteriorating health 2 states away, she couldn't afford to slow down. The family operated like a well-oiled machine, because she kept every gear turning precisely on schedule. As Daniel helped her to the car, leaving their confused children with a neighbor, Sarah fought against the pain to give him instructions. "Emma needs to finish her science project tonight. Max has therapy at 4 tomorrow. The presentation for the Henderson account is..." "Stop," Daniel interrupted, his face a mask of fear, as he noticed the right side of her face drooping slightly. Instead of driving home, he made a sharp turn toward the emergency room. The only thing that matters right now is you. Transient ischemic attack. The neurologist explained the next morning. A mini stroke. A warning shot across the bow. Sarah lay in the hospital bed, her body finally rebelling against years of stress, sleep deprivation, and the pressure she put on herself to be perfect in every role. She needs complete rest for at least 2 weeks, the doctor told Daniel. No work, no household management, no stress. Her brain needs time to heal, or next time could be catastrophic. Sarah felt as though someone had just stripped away her identity. 2 weeks away from everything she managed. The very thought sent her heart rate monitor beeping faster. I can't possibly, she began. You can, and you will. Daniel cut in with uncharacteristic firmness. Sarah stared at her usually easygoing husband, surprised by the steel in his voice. For the first time, she saw true fear behind his eyes, fear of using her. Back home, confined to their bedroom, Sarah experienced physical withdrawal symptoms from relinquishing control. She flinched at the sound of breaking glass downstairs, bit her tongue when she heard Daniel struggling to help Max with algebra, and clutched her phone compulsively, until Daniel gently, but firmly removed it. What if everything falls apart? She whispered, tears streaming down her face. Daniel sat beside him on the bed, taking her hand. Then it falls apart. But you're irreplaceable, Sarah. The rest is just stuff we can figure out. As he walked out of the bedroom, phone already ringing with what appeared to be the school's number, Sarah closed her eyes and attempted something she hadn't done in years. She let go. On day 4 of her recovery, Sarah woke to something unexpected. Laughter. Not the strained, polite laughter of the typically rushed mornings, but deep, genuine belly laughs, echoing up from the kitchen. Curious. She carefully made her way to the stairs and peered down. The kitchen was a disaster zone. Flour dusted every surface. Eggshells littered the counter, and what looked like pancake batter dripped from one cabinet. In the center of this chaos stood Daniel and the twins, wearing makeshift chef hats crafted from paper towels. They were attempting to flip pancakes with dramatic, exaggerated gestures, failing spectacularly, and laughing harder with each botched flip. Dad, that's not how Mom does it, Emma squealed, as Daniel's pancake landed half on the pan, half on the stovetop. Well, we're not doing it Mom's way today, Daniel replied, scraping up the mess. We're doing it the fun way. Sarah nearly called out to offer advice but stopped herself. Despite the mess, she noticed something remarkable. Max, who had been increasingly withdrawn and anxious this school year, was fully engaged and relaxed, his face alight with joy, as he concentrated on his own wobbly pancake creation.